Have you ever wondered just how much spiritual intention can actually go into raising a child? Well, let's dive right into this explainer and explore how the Ifa and Yoruba traditions view children as the absolute highest good, and exactly how to raise them with that profound spiritual intention. We're looking at a system where parenting isn't just a biological duty, it's a massive spiritual responsibility deeply embedded in the community and the cosmic order. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at 1. The spiritual foundation. 2. Spiritual complexities. 3. Cultivating good character. 4. Practical spiritual protection. And 5. Engaging children in rituals. We'll start with the underlying philosophy, move through the unique challenges families face, and end with tangible ways to protect and engage the next generation. Section 1. The spiritual foundation. To really get this, we have to grasp the immense spiritual weight a child's arrival carries in Yoruba culture. In this tradition, children are considered the summum bonum, literally the highest good. Think about how that compares to some modern views. In traditional Yoruba thought, all the money and status in the world mean absolutely nothing without children. They aren't just an addition to the family, they are the ultimate blessing. They represent the continuity of life, the vitality of the lineage, and the living link between the ancestors and the community's future. And you know what's fascinating? Parents don't just sit back and wait to see who their child will become. They actively seek a spiritual blueprint right out of the gate through Irakowe Omo, which is an Ifa divination process usually done within the first week of life. Parents uncover the child's destiny. They learn about specific taboos, like certain foods to avoid, and figure out exactly what forces will naturally guide them. It completely takes the guesswork out of spiritual parenting. Moving on to Section 2, spiritual complexities. Because as beautiful as childbirth is, the tradition absolutely acknowledges that it comes with profound and sometimes really difficult spiritual realities. Traditional belief holds that some souls repeatedly reincarnate just to die young, or act as familiar spirits who dash the hopes of their parents. These are known as abiku and emere. This phenomenon tackles the devastating reality of repeated infant mortality, attributing it to a cycle of mischievous or even wicked spirits entering wombs only to leave shortly after. It's a belief system that provides a vital framework for processing immense psychological pain. To combat these spiritual phenomena, traditional Yoruba naming steps in as an active intervention. It's basically pleading with or even commanding the child's spirit to stay anchored in the physical world. Names carry serious energetic weight here. Giving a child a name like Kokumo, meaning it will not die again, or Durojaye, meaning wait and enjoy life, serves as a permanent, spoken spiritual shield. It's designed to break that cycle of grief and keep the child rooted right here on Earth. So how do we practically protect and guide them? Knowing these deep spiritual destinies and potential struggles exist, we really have to ask how we actively construct a safe environment for them as they grow. How do we ensure they don't just survive, but truly thrive as responsible members of their community? That brings us to Section 3, Cultivating Good Character, or Omoluabi. This is the absolute core of Yoruba parenting and community training. It is the ultimate metric of a successful upbringing. The entire goal of traditional education is to mold a child into this epitome of excellent character. An Omoluabi is someone who embodies Ìwà Pẹ, which translates to a gentle, balanced character. We're talking about being truthful, respectful of elders, hardworking, and generous. In the Yoruba belief system, character, or Ìwà, is literally the most valuable asset a human can possess. Without it, even a great destiny is completely ruined. And the cultural stakes here are incredibly high. For instance, an Akogba is a child who was taught but stubbornly refuses to learn. But an Abikwo is a child who was born but entirely neglected in their moral education. The community judges that second scenario really harshly, viewing bad character as a direct failure of the parents, a failure that literally spells doom for a child's destiny. If one trains one's children, they will be perfectly wise. If one does not train one's children, they will be stupid and foolish. This powerful Ifa verse is a stark reminder that parents are the very first teachers. Utilizing discipline, like teaching kids to prostrate to elders or strictly avoid using their left hand, is actually viewed as an act of profound kindness and protection. Sparing the rod in this cultural context is seen as abandoning the child to a life of social disgrace. Discipline is directly equated with love and communal survival. The training of a child, or eco, is a direct responsibility. This education isn't just about academics. It's a strict, loving transfer of societal codes to prevent the child from becoming a difficult or disgraced adult. And while the extended family and community definitely step in to help out, the primary, heavy responsibility lands squarely on the mother and father to ensure their child successfully integrates into society. All right, Section 4, Practical Spiritual Protection. Because while teaching good character is essential, metaphysical protection is equally crucial. Think about when a child acts out or has intense fears but just can't tell you why. In this tradition, consistent divination allows their inner consciousness, their ori, to speak on their behalf. You see, you don't just divine for adults. If a child is going through a major transition, experiencing sudden behavioral problems, or dealing with intense emotional shifts, divination helps parents pinpoint if there's a spiritual root cause to those everyday challenges. When that divination does reveal a spiritual block, practitioners turn to something called a kosei. This is custom spiritual medicine specifically tailored to be mild and appropriate for a child's sensitive development. A kosei isn't just generalized medicine. It's hyper-customized based on exactly what the Ìwà oracle dictates. This ensures it gently supports the child's energetic needs without overwhelming them. Using these divinely empowered items creates this amazing, everyday energetic shield for the child. For example, you might wash a restless child with a mild, spiritual soap to calm their energy right before school, or use anointing oils to support emotional regulation, or even have them wear a protective Iba bracelet to guard against negative influences. These are highly practical daily applications of Ìwà wisdom. Finally, Section 5, Engaging Children in Rituals. Let's explore how to safely integrate children into the active traditions of the home to build a deep sense of connection. Altars are not off-limits. Contrary to a pretty popular misconception, embedding children in the spiritual routines of the home actually builds connection, rhythm, and a really deep sense of identity. Some parents think they need to hide altars to protect their kids, but in the Ìwà tradition, age-appropriate exposure is exactly what normalizes their spirituality and removes any fear of the unknown. By following a natural progression of altar involvement, you ensure the space becomes a grounding point. You start small, maybe let them help maintain and clean the space. Then let them offer simple prayers in their own voice, like a quick thank you to the ancestors. Over time, as they sit quietly through family rituals and learn the rich stories of the Orishas, they just naturally absorb the cosmology of their lineage. And remember, consistency is greater than perfection. You don't have to perfectly memorize every single Ìwà verse. Simply showing up daily in a way that affirms their ori is what truly protects them. It is that steady, reliable presence of spiritual practice in the household that builds a child's confidence and completely secures their energetic environment. So, by teaching our children to connect deeply with their ancestry and ori, are we merely preserving the past, or are we actively building a more balanced future for humanity? I want to leave you with that provocative thought on the true legacy of parenting within the Ìwà tradition. When we raise children as the highest good, steeped in good character and spiritually anchored, the impact reaches far, far beyond our own families. Thanks so much for engaging with this explainer, and definitely keep exploring these incredible traditions.